Hello and welcome to our special Gen Con 2019 wrap-up show. I'm Tim the Dad.
I'm Megan the daughter.
Megan, good to have you back.
I'm tired.
This was like your first Gen Con in 3 years.
Yeah.
And because of that, it felt really different for me because we got to do everything together. Where in the last couple of years, I've been with my cohorts from Dad, Dave, and the Elephant. But it was extra special having you here this year. So it was a lot of fun.
I'm really tired.
I know.
I'm still tired.
Well, we had long days. We were getting up early.
Yeah.
We were staying until the hall closed each day.
Not enough Starbucks to go around.
We spent 3 full days, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, from open to close.
Yeah.
And that's the longest I've actually been at Gen Con. Usually I take off about mid-afternoon on Saturday, but we closed the place down.
We did.
So you just didn't get to see him turn the lights off.
No, we got out of there before that.
And say, attention Gen Con people.
Please.
Yeah.
Not people.
The hall closes in 5 minutes, get out.
Pretty much.
That's pretty much what they say. So let's talk about our overall thoughts on the show. I did hear that they set a new record. They had, I think, 70,000 unique attendees. They sold out of the 4-day badges. They sold out of the Saturday badges.
Yep.
In fact, there's a really cool picture of Megan
I don't know
in
if it's
front
cool.
of the sign.
I look really dorky in front of it.
Well, that was your choice.
No. Didn't think you were going to publish it.
But overall, I thought it didn't feel like there were 70,000 people there.
That was a thing I commented on. I didn't feel like once you actually got into the hall that it felt that crowded. I mean, like, you're still bumped into people like you normally do, but it didn't feel, like, super packed in there.
No.
The only time it kind of felt crowded was, again, on, like, Saturday, but, like, it sold out on Saturday, and, like, you have a lot more of the cosplayers come in, just in, like, outside of the hall, so just kind of moving around, like, by Ballroom 500 and just trying to get into the main hall. There was a lot of people there, but it wasn't too bad.
The only time I really felt like there were just a ton of people was when the doors opened.
Oh, man.
And that was
brutal this year.
Now, one of the things it seemed like they did this year was they kind of funneled everybody just to this one area.
That was not smart.
And that kind of made everybody just kind of cram in like sardines.
It was lovely.
Whereas before, it was just like everybody just goes straight ahead and goes to the hall. That seemed like a much better thing. So I'm not really sure why they did it that way this year.
We got smushed.
We did get smushed.
We got a little smushed.
Nobody was running, but everybody was pressing forward because there was just that little opening to get through. But overall, weather was perfect.
It was really nice.
Nice and sunny days. The temperature wasn't overly hot. In fact, the hall stayed fairly comfortable.
I was cold on Saturday, actually.
Yeah.
So I had my jacket on all day Saturday.
And there were some spots out in the hallways that were actually kind of cool. But I thought the amount of people that were on the street, on the sidewalks and such.
It wasn't bad.
No, it wasn't bad at all. In fact, in previous years, it seemed more crowded.
I don't know if that was because like people were doing more events and kind of like spreading out more, maybe. Or
well, and it could be because they're spread out throughout the connecting hotels and over on Lucas Oil Field.
Yeah. Maybe
so that could very well be it. Plus, there's a lot of people doing events in ballrooms and all these other rooms that, frankly, we don't even look at. So there could have been a lot of people there. I thought when we got there on Thursday, the will call ran very smoothly.
It did.
They've got a great system for that. In fact, when we got in the line, we were way down a hall, but it moved
really
fast.
It was only maybe 15 minutes or so, probably a lot less than that.
Yeah, it didn't seem like it was that
very
long.
long. Yeah, it moved pretty quick.
So kudos to that. Also, a huge kudos to the folks that were running the press room.
Yeah,
they
cool.
Everything was great in there. Yeah, they were cool. We were able to get our press badges without any problems. We were able to go in there from time to time and just kind of chill for a little bit, look at some of the games. In fact, we're going to be talking about that because there was one game that
totally
was not even on your radar, and you were able to
existed.
open it up and check it out. So
yeah, worked out pretty well. We'll talk about that in just a little bit, though.
Yeah. So
let's not jump too far ahead.
I did, and kind of Megan did too. Before Gen Con, we did a Facebook Live where we talked about some of our most anticipated games. So we kind of narrowed it down to just talk about 3 of them here.
Yeah.
And just kind of as a little bit of a recap. So my first, probably most anticipated game was a Christmas game.
No, it's not.
It's the Die Hard game. I was really looking forward to that. We got to demo that first thing Friday morning. And
that 11 o'clock.
Yeah, that did not disappoint. That was a lot of fun. And if you watched our nightly wrap-up shows, she had a confession.
I didn't hate it, which was a surprise. I thought the gameplay was really cool. We only got through like the first act of it, but I thought it was really unique mechanics, and just like the actual gameplay was cool. And I've never seen a board game like open up into different like layers as you continue playing. It looks really cool.
And the cards, like I was playing John McClane.
Yeah.
So my card is broken out into 3 acts. So the first act I can do some things. Second act I can do some things a little bit better. And third act I can really do some good things.
Yeah. I got to shoot at you.
You did, and you shot me.
I did shoot you a couple times. I also had to crack the safe. That's kind of cool.
Yeah, so there's a lot of really cool things there. And like I said, that is by the OP, USA Opoly. But we're going to try to start referring to it as the OP because that's kind of what they're wanting to
it is not
to go
the
forward.
OP.
No.
It is the OP.
It is the OP.
Yes.
So
that was pretty much where I wanted to hang out at, was the OP, because they had a lot of cool games I was looking forward to. And the one that was most on my radar was this one right here. Thank you, Ross, for this, because I'm very happy with it. It is the Harry Potter Hogwarts Battle Defense Against the Dark Arts. It is the 2-player competitive deck building game. So it is basically like a duel, and it's super cool. And we opened it up not that long ago, so we will have an unboxing video up shortly. And I'm super excited to play this one because I love Hogwarts Battle, if y'all don't know. And this is just really cool because it's just like bringing it more to the 2-player variant, still keeping a lot of the same mechanics, it looks like. And just really excited. It's Harry Potter.
Yeah.
I like Harry Potter.
And Ross is our friend at the OP.
Yes.
Oh, at the OP.
Yeah,
I keep doing that.
Yeah,
I hate doing that. So another game that I was, and you were anticipating too, was another one from the OP, and that was Kingdom Hearts Talisman.
Yes.
Now, we've never played Talisman before, and I realize it's kind of a roll and move, but this thing looks gorgeous.
So cool. The artwork is straight from the video game, and the video game is really beautiful too, because I mean, it's like in the Final Fantasy world, but not. And I really like that artwork in there. And
it's got really cool minis.
The minis are super cool. They are like gray, all the little figures, not like painted or anything. If you want to paint them, you can. But like the attention to detail on those little figs is super cool. You can like see all the detail on the keyblades. Even got like the little crazy hairstyles down because they all got weird hair. But it looks super cool, and I really like Kingdom Hearts as a game anyway. And I've played it on as many consoles that we currently have.
Yeah. So
super excited for that.
Can't wait
for that to come out.
And if you want to see what the pictures or want to see what the game looks like, we have pictures on the Facebook page.
We have a short little video blurb about it.
We will be posting that. We haven't posted that yet, but we'll have videos for all the publishers.
Yes.
The publisher videos that we did. So keep an eye on the channel for that. So what else you got?
I also had Atelier, which is from AEG. Because I actually watched Becca Scott's How to Play on it, and I got kind of interested in that. And also what drew me into it is it has Van Gogh paintings into it, which I really like Van Gogh. He's my favorite artist. And this one looked super cool. It's fairly simple-ish from what I've seen of it, and we watched a couple people demo it while we were at the booth. And it just looks really cool. They partnered up with 4 museums, they said, to get the artwork for this game. So it's like the actual art, so I think that's really cool as well. Yeah. It just looks super cool. I'm excited to start playing this one. And that
was one that the demo tables were always packed.
Oh, yeah.
So that was one of the reasons why we were not able to demo it. But thanks to our good buddy Todd at AEG, we were able to walk away with that. Yes. And we're looking forward to trying that out.
It does. Looks really cool. I'm excited for that one.
So my third one is one that was just announced the day before. At the Fantasy Flight In-Flight report, and that is the new Marvel Champions. And now this is I don't want to call it a deck building game,
a deck builder,
because each character
deck's built for you.
Yeah, it's already done. But this looks really cool. You actually had a chance to demo it. There was one spot left in the morning when we got there, so I let her have it, and I just kind of watched. But the characters that they had was you were She-Hulk.
I was She-Hulk. We had Iron Man,
Captain Marvel, and Spider-Man.
And there's also a T'Challa for a 5th player.
Right, and they were going up against the Claw.
Yeah.
So it's one of those games where when you're doing things, you're exhausting your character. As you're going through your deck, you're adding things that your character has available to them. You're trying to basically defeat the villain, but there's also like a scheme that gets in the way that you've got to kind of take care of before you can hurt the main bad guy.
There are also certain things that affect your alter ego, which come into play, which is
that
interesting.
was the coolest part.
Like Peter Parker has to pay his rent. Captain Marvel had like a family medical emergency. Carol had to go back and help for.
Those cards are double-sided. So on one side, like Iron Man, you have Iron Man on one side, but the other side is Tony Stark.
Who kind of sucks. Tony Stark does not do as well without his armor, so you really need to have him flipped as Iron Man.
Yeah.
So that was interesting, because you have to find Iron Man's suit in his deck in order to assemble it, which is really kind of a unique mechanic for him.
But
so I was watching that.
Looks super cool. That's supposed to be coming
really
out in October.
Yes.
So we're hoping that we're going to be showing that off. Maybe even a little bit before. We don't know yet. But that's also a living card game.
Yeah.
So every month or every couple months, they're going to be coming out with new sets. And I think like Captain America is one of the first sets that's coming out. So you can choose to get that
your
and
superheroes
add it.
that were coming out, and then like couple months later or whatever, it's going to be like a bigger box of like new scenarios and stuff. I think he was saying.
Yeah.
But we for demoing it, we actually got a pack. Well, I did. Of the character, like superhero artwork cards and alter ego ones, and they're a little bit nicer than the ones that come in the actual game. So it was kind of a perk to play that.
Well, why don't we show those off?
Okay. All right. So we have Spider-Man here, and on the back is Peter Parker. So the only difference than the cards that like you'll get when you get this when it comes out is that there's more of a character border around them. This is just like fuller artwork on the card. And the font's a little bit smaller here than it is because it comes up like a little bit bigger on the actual card that we were playing with. But so you get Spidey, and then I was playing as She-Hulk and Jennifer Walters, who I don't really know anything about.
Yeah, I'm not really
up
on my She-Hulk.
Yeah, and then Iron Man and Tony Stark, Captain Marvel and Carol Danvers, and then Black Panther and T'Challa. So, and then just coming soon.
Yeah, so really looking forward to this. One of the things that we were kind of talking about was, how does this compete with Marvel Legendary?
It's totally different. It is not a deck builder in that sense. It has a totally different feel to it.
Gameplay is totally different.
Yeah, which is really cool.
Totally room for both of these games in your collection. All right, so the next thing we want to talk about is what were the biggest surprise games that we had at Gen Con. These were games that we either heard really nothing about or we had heard just a little bit about. So my first one was also one that we got to demo, was Noctiluca from Z-Man Games.
That was fun.
Now this is a game that's got tons of dice, so I'm probably going to like it, right? The dice are almost, would you call them?
They're not translucent.
Pastels.
Yeah, they're kind of neon-y almost.
Yeah.
I would say more like highlighter neon colors. And they represent these little glowing sea creatures that you're going to harvest for healing powers.
Yeah. They don't die. We're just using
We're not
them.
killing them.
Yeah. So this was one we got to demo. My buddy Aaron, who used to be in my weekly game group, sadly moved away.
Yeah.
But he does come back every year for Gen Con and does work on their demo team. So he taught us the game, and we were able to play a 3-player game with him.
Yeah, it was really fun.
He did win, but he's had the
By
advantage
2
of
points.
playing,
By 2
all through
points.
Gen Con.
I still beat you by way more.
Way more?
Yeah.
Did you really?
At least like 8.
Probably.
Yeah, because I was collecting a lot more baggies with the point values.
But
I had, like, a lot of 2s.
It's really cool because what you do is you take all these dice, and depending on player count, you're rolling them, and then you're assigning them to the spots on the board. And like the inner spots have, in our 3-player game, they had 4 on there, and then the outer spots had 5. And what you do is you take one of your little player markers and you put them on one of those spots on the board. Then what you do is you look in a straight line and you call out a number. So let's say 3. So along that line, I've already said what I'm going to do and called my number. Then I take all of those. I try to put as many on my cards that I have in front of me as possible to basically complete those cards. If you can't, then you got to pass, and the next person can take one of however many left over, and you keep doing that until all the dice are gone.
Yeah.
Or I think until it just goes around, and then the remaining dice go back into they're just out of the game. So that one was really cool.
For me, it was a surprise that I would like Die Hard. And I didn't know anything about that really, because I was purposely avoiding not looking at anything related to the so-called Christmas game.
It is a Christmas game.
Anyway, that was a surprise for me. Marvel Champions, because I didn't watch the in-flight report, so I really didn't know anything about it till we, like, walked past it on day one. So I was kind of looking at it, and I was like, oh, it looks cool. So I was glad we got to demo that. Marvel Splendor was a total surprise for me. I did not know that this was a thing, and I was just like,
I really didn't either.
Looking around, and I was like, oh, there's like this really cool Marvel like big sign over here and has Star-Lord on it. So I was immediately like, Star-Lord. And then I was like, Splendor is right next to it, and I was like, wait. So I walked over. There's like a couple tables. I'm demoing it. It's not coming out till next year at some point, correct?
I think so.
Later, yeah. But it looks super cool.
They had several demo tables going of it.
I like Splendor, and I like Marvel, so it's a plus. It looks super cool, and I'm excited for that.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So another game that I really didn't know a whole lot about, another Z-Man game that we actually got to demo, this time by my friend Adam, who, again, was part of my weekly group, but he and Aaron moved away.
Yeah.
And that is Hadara.
Now, this game was really cool, too. I didn't know anything about this. And you kept saying, you're like, oh, Hadara, Noctiluca. And I was like, those don't sound like words.
Yeah.
And I was like, I don't know what we're talking about.
It's
really
very cool. In fact, you can see this was one of the games we've already opened.
Yeah.
We have filmed our unboxing on that. We just
we'll get up soon.
Haven't got it ready to publish yet.
It's really fun.
But it's a civ game where you are you're building your little civilization, but you're also drafting cards. And it's kind of a very unique thing. It's hard for me to explain, but you're picking these cards, and they represent money, military, your population or whatever, and your food, because you always got to feed your people, right?
Feed the people.
And then you have like a wild card that's purple. So each player's got a player board, and you're basically building out a tableau, kind of set collecting. So it was really kind of neat.
It was really cool. I liked it.
So really looking forward to playing that and bringing it to the channel.
I won on that one too.
Yeah, well, we're not going to talk about that. So my last one that was kind of a surprise was one that I found out just a couple days before Gen Con by my friend Rodney Smith. He actually had a Watch It Played video of that. And I watched his video, and I'm like, oh man, this looks really cool.
Right,
Why hadn't I heard about this? Well, I do like the classic monsters, because the gist of this is you are a hero coming into this town, and your job, and the rest of the players' jobs as heroes, is to rid the town of these classic monsters. So we have Dracula, Frankenstein, the wolf, or Frankenstein's monster,
Got
the mummy,
Invisible Man,
creature from the Black Lagoon, and Wolfman. And they each have their own unique ways that you have to defeat them. You're picking up items as you're moving around town. They're attacking and killing villagers. So you want to try to protect them and take them out. So like Dracula's, the way to defeat him is he has coffins spread around town. You got to go destroy those coffins, and then you got to take him out. And you take him out with like the cross and a stake.
Yeah.
So very thematic. Looks really cool.
This is horrified, since he didn't actually say the name of the game.
Didn't I?
You did not.
Oh, I thought I did.
No, and if you did, you can edit that out.
Horrified.
Yeah. But speaking of killing monsters or slaying monsters, I had a total surprise. I was in the press room on day 2.
Yes.
Yes. And I was just kind of looking at the game, seeing what they had, and they had a Buffy the Vampire Slayer game, which I was like, oh, it's interesting, because I'm just now watching Buffy for the first time. So I was like, oh, I'll see how the game is. Opened it up, and I was like, oh, this is kind of cool. It's got the map of Sunnydale. Like, you go around, try and fight like the monster of the week. And I was like, yeah, I know you don't know anything about Buffy. I was like, this looks really cool. And so went up, talked to the guy, and was like, hey, can we have a review copy? And he delivered. So Buffy the Vampire Slayer, the board game, will be coming to you for Spooky Month in October. It looks really cool. It has like kind of cartoonized, not really cartoonized, but like artwork of the characters from the show. And there was an expansion that came out with Faith on the cover, so this one is just Buffy. So that was out and kind of gave you some of her new friends that you meet in college. And there was also an Angel game that I saw sitting on the back, which looked like it had the same artwork. But super excited to actually open this and kind of learn how to play, because it looks really cool. And I do kind of like Buffy. I'm really late to the game on watching Buffy.
Allison Hannigan's in that, right?
Yeah, she's Willow.
Not to be confused with the 80s movie Willow.
Yeah, I don't know anything about that. But yeah, it's really cool. I'm looking forward to actually getting to play that one.
All right, so since we're looking forward to playing games, let's talk about the ones that we've either already have or are coming that we are really looking forward to playing. I'll start off, and that is Copenhagen from Queen Games. Now, this is a game that's got Tetris pieces, so you're going to be basically trying to create buildings, I think, with those. Looks super cool. Really excited to try to play it. Did not get a chance to demo it, unfortunately, because again the tables were all packed at Queen Games. So, but really looking forward to playing that one.
Yeah. For me, I'm actually kind of looking forward to playing Die Hard. I know it's just a win for you. I think it looks cool. I want to play a full game of it and see how it all like unfolds. I think that'll be cool. I'm also looking forward to actually playing the Defense Against the Dark Arts Hogwarts Battle. I know we opened it, and I really want to play that. So it looks really cool.
Well, that one is right up your alley.
Yeah.
Another one that I got to play half a game of because a buddy of mine, Dave Taylor from To the Table, he actually bought the Artemis Project.
Yeah.
And first night at the hotel, me and our buddy Jeff sat down and we played it. Now, unfortunately, it was like 10 o'clock at night when we read the rules.
No, it was like 10:30. It was later.
Well, I'm saying when we read the rules. When we started the game, it was probably around 10:30, 10:45-ish. And we got done about 11:30. And I told the guys, I'm like, we can only play half a game because I got to get to bed and get up early.
Yeah.
Because we were not staying, we didn't have a connecting room, so we had to drive into downtown, Indy. But Artemis Project looks really cool.
Does.
From what I played, the first half of the game, it was a lot of fun. So you're definitely going to want to check that one out.
And we'll have a video of that coming soon too.
Yes.
So yeah. Another one I'm looking forward to getting is Marvel Champions, just because I want to actually play a more complete game of that. I mean, we did play kind of a scaled down version, I think, of it.
It was set up.
Yeah, it was set up, so it was really easy to get through, but I do kind of want to play with some other characters and just kind of see how that goes.
Yeah, and then finally for me, Horrified.
Yeah.
Like I said, when we went to the Ravensburger booth, I think they had 2 demo tables of it set up. It was packed, so we were never able to get a demo, but really looking forward to getting that and playing that as well. All right, so let's talk about what we think is the game of the show, because I know that's always a big burning question. What was the one game that everybody was running for and had to have? What did you think?
I personally think it was the Pop Funkoverse game, just because every time people were asking us, hey, what have you demoed so far? And pretty much the first thing we actually did demo was the Funkoverse game.
It was.
Because we didn't really get to demo anything until later on day 2. So people kept asking, like, what was your opinion on it? And I was really looking forward to it beforehand. I think people were just curious to kind of see what it was like, because they had it set up kind of near the back of the hall. They had a couple of them set up, and they weren't selling them there. You actually had to demo it, and then you got a chance to buy the game. So it was kind of limited quantity, too, who could actually do it. I know, I think the GameStop at the Circle Center Mall was also doing a couple demos, and we're selling a few copies, too, I saw.
Really?
But just to kind of, like, get people over there. So I thought that was just a talked about game. I don't know if it was like the most anticipated one or like the game of the show. We did walk away with a copy though, which is cool. The Golden Girls, everyone's favorite. So I think this is kind of cool to actually play as Rose and Blanche. So I think that's cool. But the one I was super excited to get, obviously, is Harry Potter. And I love the Harry Potter Funkos already. I love Funkos. I have a pretty good sized collection. And now it's a board game of it. And I think it's pretty cool.
Now, the demo we actually did was of
the DC.
The Batman. It was Batman and Batgirl against Joker and Harley Quinn. And those look really cool, too.
It's really cool. The artwork's pretty cool. It is in the Funkoverse style artwork that you might have seen on like the little animated shorts they kind of put out sometimes. But
and we've already done an unboxing on this. That will be up on the channel very, very soon.
And we have a little video, too, about talking about what we thought of it as well.
The ironic thing is, and I didn't know this at the time, but when we just finished our demo, we're basically collecting our thoughts on camera and talking about it. Funko actually took a picture of my back and
me
you
talking about it,
because and then they tweeted it out. And a coworker of mine who is Funko obsessed, that's my work son Ryan, he follows everything Funko.
Yeah.
And he sends me this picture that they posted, and I'm like, that's my back and me holding my camera.
Yeah, I was like, that's me.
So that was really
like,
kind of a surreal moment.
How did you get that? And we're like, here, you made Twitter.
Yeah, and it's like cool. Spies were everywhere.
Yeah, it was kind of cool though, but yeah.
I think, for me, I think the game of the show was Horrified from Ravensburger. They sold out of it. That was the one game that I probably saw more people carrying copies of. Especially the first 2 days.
Yeah.
I don't know when they actually ran out or sold out, but that was probably it. I mean, I know I turn around, I'm like, oh, they got a copy of Horrified.
Yeah,
that person's got a copy of it. And I know that it got a lot of buzz right before, because like I said, I just found out about it a couple days before Gen Con. But then I just started seeing
everywhere.
It was blown up on social media.
Yeah.
So, but the good thing is it's a game you can go and get at Target.
Yes.
So they have it there, so it shouldn't be difficult to find at all, unless everybody else knows about it and they go and buy them. So if you're really looking for a copy, you might go check your Target right now.
Right now.
So pause the video, run and check it, and then come back, and then you can finish watching the rest of this video.
Speaking of Ravensburger, I know Villainous, the latest expansion, was super popular there. They were selling out of that every day, and I think they had limited quantities for each day.
Yeah.
But the Evil Comes Prepared expansion with Scar.
And if you follow the channel, you know we've already done an unboxing on it. We actually played our first game of it last night.
We did.
Playing as Scar and Yzma.
Yep.
And I'll just say this.
Super cool.
It was awesome.
It's good. It's a really good expansion.
This is not like, I mean, every villain plays so differently.
Yeah.
And
Yzma's is the best so far, I have to say. Hers is really cool.
I don't know. Scar's was pretty good.
Scar's is good, but Yzma has a really unique mechanic that we won't go into yet, so you actually watch our video. But it looks super cool.
So that one will be coming to the channel very soon. So keep an eye open for that one.
But yeah. Next is something I kind of observe more at the cons rather than you. Best cosplay.
Yeah, I just kind of like, okay.
You peruse, yeah. I think it's cool. I always like to see kind of like the attention to detail that some people put in, because I know it is a lot for every single cosplay that everyone does. I'm kind of curious to see like which characters I'll kind of see more of. I know there's a lot more of like anime and like some gaming ones in this for like Gen Con rather than like a full Comic Con.
Yeah, because most of those costumes I had no clue what they were with.
I think I know you're from an anime. I was like, you might be from Attack on Titan. I don't know. But I did see a really good Hermione Granger. She looked even a bit like Emma Watson a little bit in the face. And it was really cool. Like, she had a really well done cosplay. She was even giving out like little wands to like this little girl that came up to her, which was kind of cute. In passing, I saw a really good War Doctor from Doctor Who. So I thought that was pretty impressive.
Mine was, I saw this little baby boy. He's maybe a year and a half in a full Thor outfit.
Yeah, you did see
big
him.
Puffy things.
All the padded sweater.
Nice one, kid.
It was cute. But yeah, I mean, there was a couple good ones, but that was kind of what I saw in passing, which was kind of cool.
Yeah.
I look at that.
Okay, so...
there was a Crowley and a Aziraphale I did see from Good Omens, which made me super excited to see that. You saw him in passing.
Did I know?
No, you didn't really watch Good Omens.
No, I didn't.
But it was cool. I thought that was cool to see. But yeah, anyway.
So the one regret... I shouldn't say regret...
for your wallet.
the one item that I saw that I thought, oh, this is so cool. And if I was made of money, I would have bought it. And there were a number of vendors that were selling this. It's called a codex. And so if you don't know what a codex is, it's this long cylinder thing. It's about yay long. And it's wooden. And it's got like a leather middle part. And they had all sorts of different designs and colors. But the top is magnetic. So it lifts off, and you put your dice in there, you shake it up, and then you turn the bottom, and the bottom's got like a ramp, like a dice tower, and the dice come tumbling out.
It's really cool.
Super cool. And like I said, if I had been made of money and money was no object, I would have bought one on the spot. But they were like $95. And
they're worth the money,
they are worth it.
Super cool.
It's just a little hard for me to spend $95 on something that I can just use my hand and roll the dice on the table.
Yeah, but it's so much cooler.
It is.
Yeah.
But yeah. Maybe one of these days.
Yeah,
when I win the lottery or something, I'll buy that, and I'll buy one of those Rascaller tables or whatever that you saw. That
there was one that lit up that had Bluetooth music going to it. I was like, oh, it looks cool, and it actually sold out. Someone bought that table.
Yeah.
I was like, oh.
That was kind of.
They got money.
Did you see anything that you didn't walk away with? Saw a T-shirt.
I saw a T-shirt. It was a Good Omens T-shirt. It had like Crowley on top and like a Aziraphale on the bottom. It was like the deck of card style looking one. I don't know. Maybe just a couple Funkos I saw in passing that I was not willing to pay the money for. because some are a bit overpriced for my price range of buying some Funkos, but that's about it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I did kind of want to pick up, from Gale Force 9, they had the new little Doctor Who figurines. I picked up a 12 to replace the one that we have currently in our Doctor Who Time of the Daleks game. Because that's him with like his big floofy hair and the guitar and the sonic sunglasses. I really like that version of him. But there was one of 11.
That was only $5.
Yeah, there was one of 11 with the Fez and the Mop, which is in Big Bang 2, which everyone I saw, the arm was broken off, which I was really disappointed
kind of
about, but I really wanted to pick him up as well, but unfortunately, that didn't work out.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So one of the great things about Gen Con, and it's really any con, and that is a lot of times that's the only chance we have of seeing some of our friends that are in the industry. Now, I'm blessed because my co-hosts from Dad, Dave, and the Elephant only live about 2.5 hours away. So we can get together every so often and we can game. And of course, I've got a pretty good gaming group that's around. But I have what I would consider my con family, and I call them that because I've known them for years. And, well, Gen Con or Origins are the only two conventions I really go to. And it's so nice to see these people in person. I talk to them through Facebook. I talk to them, through emails. And, we generally talk about work stuff. I shouldn't say work, but hobby stuff.
It's work for them sometimes.
But we do talk on the personal side. So it's always great seeing those people. And for you, that was a chance for you to actually meet some people because they know you from the channel, but they've never met you.
They're like, yeah, she's there. Maybe she exists.
And I thought it was cool that, well, kinda, because they're kind of like brushed by me, and they're like, "Oh, you're Megan the daughter. It's nice to meet you." Finally,
some of them I met, when I was at Gen Con like 3 years ago, and then I haven't seen since this year, which was kind of cool, just to like see people again. So that was really cool. I liked that. Now,
unfortunately, we were not able to see everybody that we tried to.
Everyone's busy.
Because
it's a busy show.
They're working the show, so really the only ones I think we got to see were the ones that we actually had meetings with, where they were showing off the games on camera. But we always took extra time, talk about, how's everything going, that sort of thing, and usually pose for pictures. So you probably saw all those on our Facebook page as well. But that's really a really big important thing for me, especially, and maintaining those personal relationships. Like I said, everybody's busy, and that's the only time we get to really see them. So a lot of hugs, a lot of handshakes, a lot of fist bumps.
Yeah.
So it's really cool. So really enjoy seeing my con family.
It was also really cool to see people that have followed us that actually came up to us and were like, "Hey, we watch you on YouTube. Like, we know about you, and it's really cool." There was a dad and daughter you met at last year that I thought was really cool. So I remember you telling me about it. And then I met them this year, and I thought that was really cool. I know we met another father-son duo on the street and all, but
the father-daughter actually saw you.
Yeah, and I was like, I don't know.
And went over to you, and you're like,
hey,
come
really
over here.
So I was like, I don't know who you are. And then I was like, oh, you know them. I was like, oh, it's them.
Yeah.
So it was kind of cool. But yeah, it was super cool. Just kind of see that we did hand out a lot of buttons. We do have some left, so maybe next con we go to.
Yeah, we were on our way to lunch that one day, and the father and son came up and says, "Oh, we watch you guys. We love your channel."
I got a button.
So yeah, so that was really cool. And we had a couple other people that came up to us. In fact, there was a guy that came up. He was working the Funko demo, and he watched our channel. He came up, he said hi. There was a member of the Dice Tower that came up that we'd never met that said he watched. In fact, he watched and commented on our
Facebook Live,
our Gen Con. Was it day one wrap up?
Day one, yeah.
Yeah. So that was super cool. But yeah, we really appreciate the fans coming up and saying hi, and it adds that little personal touch for us.
And we wouldn't be here without you guys watching.
That is true. All right, so anything else? We're kind of right at the end here.
I have an announcement.
Okay.
Kind of. We started a Twitter, and I say we is more I started the Twitter. So
let me say something about that. So I had my own Twitter account years ago, and I used to share the stuff out there, but it was double work, and I wasn't really seeing a lot of effort on it, so I stopped, and I hadn't done anything in it in years.
I just kind of thought, I'll try. I know some publishers were like, do you have Twitter? Are you posting on it? We're like, no, but can't hurt to try. So I set one up pretty much on Sunday when we got back and just kind of playing around with it. I've been posting some pictures from the con. A lot of publishers have already kind of liked it. We have a couple followers. But if you do want to follow, it is at dadvdaughter, all lowercase, one word. And you can check out some stuff there, and it'll kind of be my commentary on it. Right. Whereas Facebook is a lot of your commentary.
Yeah, pretty much everything you see on Facebook is from me.
Yeah.
Everything you're going to see on Twitter is only going to be from Megan.
Yes.
So...
there might be some pictures like from your lunch group and stuff I'll post over there, but a lot of it will be from me.
If you're a fan of Megan and you want to hear what her perspective is, because you've been listening to me for years, check out the Twitter page.
300 characters.
Subscribe, because she's been very active with what we've been doing, and we'll see where that goes.
And it's kind of a way for me to still be active too once I go back off to college. So I can still kind of run the Twitter and have a foot in there. Yeah.
Run the Twitter.
Tweet. Little birdie told us. Guy Twitter.
All right, so we want to wrap up the show with some big thank yous, because without the support of publishers and review copies, we probably wouldn't be as successful as we are, because we just wouldn't have as many games to show you. Now, you see, a ton of games behind us. A lot of those we bought ourselves. Some of them, we got as review copies.
There's games over here, there's games over there, there's games upstairs. There's a lot of games now in this house, and it's all because of a lot of your guys' help.
Yeah, so hopefully I'm not leaving anybody out, but in particular from Gen Con, we wanted to say thank you to AEG.
Yeah, Asmodee, the Op, thank you very much for all those.
Forbidden Games, which I do want to point out, they have the new Extraordinary Pirates. Extraordinary Adventures Pirates. This looks super cool. Very excited to play this, especially since Play Like a Pirate Day is coming up in mid-September. So if you want to know more about that, go over to the Play Like a Pirate Day Facebook page that I run, and you'll see more about that.
Academy Games. That was cool.
Yeah, Foxbind, and our friend JC there. Again, they've got another little pirate game coming out, Bermuda Pirates, which is like a little dexterity where you're going to be pushing your little pirate ship around. It seems very simple, but it was a lot of fun
really cool,
to play.
Yeah.
So looking forward to doing that one as well.
Tasty Minstrel Games and Big G Creative.
Board and Dice.
Yeah.
They showed us a couple of games that they've got coming out at Essen.
Yes, which we will not be at, unfortunately.
No, we will not be at Essen.
Unless our Patreon account skyrockets enough for me to get a passport and some plane tickets.
You got school, you're not getting out.
It's work. It's for work.
Yeah.
Go.
But yeah, so we're really looking forward to that. Queen Games.
White Wizard, IDW.
White Wizard, for Star Realms.
Star Realms, yep.
So, yeah.
Jazzco for Buffy and Funko, because I'm super excited now we have a partnership with Funko.
Yeah.
So yeah, it'd be cool. Maybe you could actually sound like, the normal size Funkos and add to my collection. There's a couple I missed that are not available now. They're super high on eBay, so there's a couple you can support there for my collection.
So that is our Gen Con 2019 wrap-up show.
Yep.
Again, for me, it was my best Gen Con ever, and like I said, a lot of that I think had to do with having you there. It felt really cool. Seeing all the people again, the games, it seemed like we demoed a lot more games. I know I demoed a lot more games this year than I think I have in the past couple of years.
And I demoed more than you.
And
because you set out for a couple.
Yeah, and the games we demoed, I think we all really enjoyed. I don't think we demoed anything that we didn't like, really.
Yeah, so expect to see all of those being featured on our channel at some point or another.
Yep.
Yeah.
So that'll do it, and we will catch you guys next time.
Bye.
If you would like to support us, you can visit patreon.com/dadvdaughter.
Like and follow us on Facebook to stay current on our show schedule, sneak peeks at future shows, and to interact with us.